Today we're going to look at the tax ID that have been going around. They say businesses must have tax ID, individuals must have tax ID, and everybody must have tax ID. Some people are saying, what is tax ID? What is TIN? What is the difference? In this video, we're going to explain both of them. We're going to differentiate both of them, and we're going to use frequently asked question by word that is derived by Taiwo Oyedele. From in this video, just stay calm, relax, and let's dive in into what the Nigeria Tax Administrative what Act. Now, the frequently asked question is it true that everyone must obtain a tax ID before opening or continue to operate a bank? Now, it is obvious that they say if you don't have the tax ID, you cannot open a bank. You cannot operate your existing account. Yes, if you don't have the tax ID. Now, what is it? You say, yes, if you don't have a tax ID, you cannot open account, you cannot operate your existing account. That is by 1st January 2026. You say, yes, you cannot. But with some clarification, Section 4 of the NTAA required all what taxable person to register with the tax authority and obtain a tax ID. A taxable person is someone who carries on what businesses or other economic activities to earn income. Yes, if you carry out any activities that means any income for yourself, you must obtain a tax ID. Banks and other financial institutions are required to request a tax ID from taxable person, individuals who do not earn income and are not taxable person are not required to obtain a tax ID. If you don't earn income, if you are an individual, you don't carry out any business, you don't need a tax ID. Tax ID are mainly for people who do what? Who carry out what? Businesses, trades, that you generate what? Income for yourself. You need a tax ID. Question 2 say, is this requirement new? People say, we've not heard of this before. We've not heard of it. Is this requirement new? And some Taiwo Oyedele says, no, it is not new. This is not a new policy. It has been in place since the Finance Act 2019, which amended Section 49 of the Personal Income Tax Act. Since January 2020, individuals opening a business account has been required to provide a tax identification number TIN. The NTAA only was strengthening and harmonizing this requirement. Now, this act has been there since. It has been there in Personal Income Tax Act. This new tax regime is just what? Strengthening it, bringing it out, making it more defensive so that nobody will run away from it. Initially people were dodging, but this one has strengthened it, tightened it. You all know where you pay your tax, my guy. See that tax you pay. In fact, in this Tinubu administration, you must pay tax. You must pay tax. Now let's check. Question 3 say, why does the new law say tax ID instead of TIN? Why is it that saying tax ID instead of TIN? Because the one we know is TIN. You get? Yes, we know TIN. We don't know tax ID. Taiwo Oyedele, we don't know tax ID. It is TIN. And Taiwo Oyedele say tax ID is a term that unify the different TIN issued by the Federal Inland Revenue Service, Joint Tax Board, and what state IRS. Untimely, your name for individual and CAC registration number for company will serve as your tax ID, reducing duplication and simplifying what? Compliances. Now, as an individual, before now you have a TIN. Then your company have what? RC number. We have RC number from JTF, Federal Revenue Service, individuals. Now, bringing this together will give you your tax ID. It's a Joint Tax Board and State Internal Revenue. Ultimately, CAC number for companies will serve as your tax ID, reducing duplicate. That is to say, your tax ID will be your personal TIN, and your what? Your company thing, your company RC will give you your tax ID. Yes, according to what he said here, your tax ID is your ROC and your team together will give you your tax ID because both are linked together, right? They are linked together alongside with your names. I hope that is clear. So, tax ID is a combination of your name and your company registration number. Why team? Sorry, it's a combination of your team and your RC, your company registration number will give you your tax ID. Why your TIN is normally your tax identification number. So let's go to question 4. If I already have a TIN, do I need a tax ID? I get TIN before. Do I need a tax ID? Let's see what Taiwo Oyedele say. He say, no, you don't need TIN again. You don't need tax ID again. Your existing TIN remain valid. If you already have one, you do not need to register again. For those without TIN, you will need your name, individual, or CAC registration document company to process your tax ID. Now, if you have TIN, you don't need to get your tax ID again. But if you don't have TIN, then you need your what? Your name and your CAC company registration number to have your tax ID. That is to say, for those that have TIN already, they are going to harmonize it. Harmonize your TIN with your company registration number to get your tax ID. So if you don't have tax ID, you can use your name and your company registration number to get your tax ID. Are you getting all flowing together? I hope this is making sense. I hope it is making sense. Let's go to question 5. Question 5 say, will I need to queue for biometric to obtain a tax ID? You know, in Nigeria, it is now a culture that anything you want to do, you must queue. Go and get your name now. You go queue for 2 days. Go and get voter's card. You go queue. In fact, go to bank that you want to withdraw your own money, my brother. You will queue. Say that you want to enter motor, maybe this long government bus, my brother, you will queue. Say you won't go stadium, go watch ball, my brother, you go queue. Say you won't go buy Gary, you go queue. So queuing is our culture. It's our culture. But let's see what I will listen. Will I need to queue for biometric to obtain a tax ID? Taiwo say no, the tax ID is simply a unique number linked to your identity, not necessarily a physical card. To obtain it, you can visit the nearest Federal Inland Revenue Service or State Inland Revenue Service or Joint Tax Board office or apply online via their official website. It is free of charge. Please do not patronize tout or unofficial agent. This response wey Taiwo Oyedele give you no satisfy me. We go queue, we fit still queue. That is the truth. Go FRS for TPS. You go queue. You go queue. Go TPS, FRS. You go queue, my brother. So Taiwo, I don't agree with this one. We go queue. But if registering online, if you can do this thing and register it online and you get to this thing online, then I will agree with you that I will not queue. But if we are going to visit any of these Federal Inland Revenue Service physically, Joint Tax Board physically, State Internal Revenue physically, I will go queue. Like we go do what he queue. So, but him say, according to him, we are not going to queue. It's going to be a seamless one. You get. Now, number 6 say, does the tax ID requirement also apply to businesses? This tax ID, does it apply to businesses? Like Mama Nkechi that is doing business in your side, Mama Oyedele that is doing business in one side, Mama Kenny that is doing, Mama Bashira, Mama Aisha. Is it applied to these people? Taiwo Oyedele say yes. So for unincorporated business, listen, for unincorporated business, your personal things like tax ID is sufficient. That is to say, all these roadside business, they are unincorporated. Now they have captured virtually everybody into this tax net. Initially, it is corporate business entities that pay tax, right? But now, with this, you see, unincorporated business, that is to say, that business you are doing in front of your house, main road, that has not been registered with CAC, will be taxed. They say your team, your personal income, your tax identification number is enough to be your tax ID so that you can remit tax. So if you like register your company, you like don't register it. All of us, all of us go pay tax. All of us go pay tax. Now let's see. Yes, let's go ahead. For companies, NGOs, incorporated trusts, and other registered entity, a team will be automatically generated with your CAC registration, like I said earlier. Detail. If your business was registered without a team in the past, simply visit the Federal Inland Revenue Service or apply online with your CAC document to get one. So if your business no get team before, I will say before, just go to Federal Inland Revenue Service. They are calling you. They are calling you because they need your money. They will do it very fast for you. They need your money. They want you to pay tax. So they are calling you to come and register. But when they want share, they no go call us. Now when they want get from us, they go call us. You get? So they are calling us. Number 7 question say, what about Nigeria in diaspora? Those people that are abroad, Kenya, Ghana, Sierra Leone, UK, England. What about them? Are you leaving them behind? Mr. Taiwo, are you leaving these people? What will happen to them? These people, they are not in Nigeria now, so they don't have any business with Nigeria. Taiwo say, Nigerians abroad can obtain a tax ID using their name for banking or investment purposes in Nigeria. A simplified process has been introduced for diaspora Nigerians. Visit the NIMC website for detail. They are also included. If you are abroad, it is say this tax law only for people within Nigeria. You're on your own. You are included. You will pay tax. See, nobody, everybody is included in this tax. We all must pay tax. You see, come January 2006, we all will pay tax. Let us continue. Let's continue. Question A say, do foreign companies and non-resident entities need a tax ID? Foreign companies, people that are not resident in Nigeria, do they need tax ID? Let's see what Taiwo Oyedele will say. He say yes, so they need to. Foreign company need tax ID. He say yes, so they need to. If they do business in Nigeria, a non-resident company supply goods or services to Nigeria customer must register for tax ID. Like say you dey UK, you want to supply something to somebody in Nigeria, you need a tax ID to carry out that transaction. If you don't have a tax ID, you cannot carry out that transaction. That is to say, every business abroad that have the intention of dealing with Nigeria's business must acquire a tax ID. You must acquire a tax ID. If you don't have a tax ID, you cannot do the transaction, because for the transaction to go, you need a tax ID, right? But however, those earning only passive income, dividends, interest, royalty, rent may not need to register, though they must provide relevant information. A company registered abroad but effectively managed or controlled in Nigeria is treated as resident and must comply. You get that? As long as it is managed in Nigeria, it's not in Nigeria, but it is managed in Nigeria, indirectly or indirectly, you need tax ID. Everybody is involved in this one, but this is what we call inclusiveness. This is inclusiveness. If the government can be including the citizen in all decisions they are taking, the way they are including us in this tax matter, like Nigeria will grow. Our government, number 9 question says, are government-owned enterprises and agencies exempt? Now, you know, some government, if you say, yeah, we'll be government, we don't need anything, we are exempted, now. Let's see what Oyedele Taiwo will say. He said, no, Section 5 of the NTAA requires all ministry, department, agency, and government-owned enterprises, federal, state, or local, to register for tax and obtain tax ID. That is to say, All business enterprises, MDAs in Nigeria, must obtain tax ID. They are not seeing them as business. Nobody is creating essential services. Everybody must pay tax. That is what they are saying. They must. NMPCU, you see this. Even FRS themselves, if they get tax ID. It is well. We are all in. We dey inside. So MDAs, we need to get a tax ID. Now, question 10 say, what happens if a taxable person does not register by 1st January 2026? Yes, you know, say Nigerians were very stubborn. We know they register. That we no go, no, they no go register. No, na mama Nkechi wey dey for road, the manager sef, you say make e go get tax ID. Abi na mama Aisha wey dey fry akara, you say make e go get tax ID. Abi na who? No, I'm just trying to. Many will not register. Let's see what Star Oyedele says about this. He said, without a tax ID, a taxable person may not be able to operate bank accounts, insurance policy, pension account, or investment account. Sanction also apply under the NTAA. However, individuals who are not taxable person are not required to obtain a tax ID. As long as you are earning income, as long as you are carrying out a business that is giving you income, whether incorporated or not, you must register it. You must have a tax ID. You must register before January 2026, or you cannot access that. That's your account that you have. You cannot access it. You cannot do any transaction. In fact, by January, they will just block account. Ping, ping, you just hear ping, 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 na block, you know. They block account. That time you come see bank will come full. People want to do what tax ID. So it is better if you are earning. Go and register. Right? Just go and register to avoid blocking your account. But if you are not earning any income, you are free. You are free like a bird. You are free. Yeah, you are free. You are free like a bird. Just feel free and continue your business because you are not earning income. But if you are earning, go and do what? Register, obtain your tax ID. But if you have your team, good and fine, it can go. Question 11 say, how will this benefit ordinary Nigeria? Because the main aim of all this is for it to benefit the ordinary Nigerians. You get the aim of this tax reform is to lessen the burden of tax in the ordinary Nigerian, to allow ordinary Nigeria breathe. Now, this is what he says. The aim is to simplify identification, reduce duplication, and close loopholes. Do you know that I will talk about that in one of my videos about loophole, tax evasion and avoidance, that allow tax evasion. For most individuals and business, their name or CAC registration will serve as what? Their tax ID with no extra paperwork. If you have your name and you have your CAC, this thing is to serve as your tax ID. This ensures fairness so that everyone who earns taxable income contribute their share while protecting low-income citizens who are not what? Taxable. How will this benefit ordinary Nigeria? So this is how it benefits ordinary Nigeria. This is what you see. The benefits. This is what you see as the benefit to ordinary Nigeria. He says, let me explain what he says here. That how it will benefit ordinary Nigeria. He said that your team and your company registration will serve as your tax ID. And this ensures fairness so that everyone who earns taxable income contribute their share while protecting low-income citizens who are not taxable. That is how it affects the benefit in Nigeria. It will say that you must pay your tax so that those people who don't earn will not be burdened. That is how it affects the ordinary Nigerians. Okay, this is where you say follow us on all social media, WhatsApp channel for more detail. So this is what he said about the tax ID. You know, in all of this, I did not see the welfare of ordinary Nigeria. They are just emphasizing collect. But it's fine. These are government and we need to respect their authorities. I believe it's for the betterment of the country, for the long run. But what we are agitating, what we are crying for is that if we pay this tax, let us see the outcome in our society. Let it not look as if after paying this tax, then one person will just mob up the money and go away and nobody does anything. Because normally the way I was taught is that you see tax you pay to government, you don't tell government how to spend the money, the tax. You don't they don't you don't tell them how to spend the tax. The money they spend it the way they want. Yet you are the one paying. But I hope good thing will come out of this. Well done, Oyedele Taiwo. Well done for war job. Well done.